I've been asked by a lot of my friends on Facebook and LinkedIn to comment about the Virginia political crisis PR scenario that's going on there. And yeah, it is a crisis PR situation, but it's even bigger political scandal. So before I start in on this one, let me have a word to the Virginia voters. Do us all a favor and elect better people. I mean, your top three leaders in the state are embroiled in some sort of stupid scandal. The governor and attorney general are both embroiled in what can only be described as stupidity in wearing blackface in college. And the lieutenant governor is now a subject of a criminal investigation and articles of impeachment for what is an overwhelming preponderance of evidence against sexual assault charges. You want to gauge how bad this has become from a perception standpoint for the state? Saturday Night Live did a bit last night about the complete tone deafness of the entire state elected bodies. If you haven't seen it, go on YouTube. It is hilarious and painfully true. Out of the three of them, the only one that seems to have any sense of how to respond to a crisis PR is the Attorney General Mark Herring. He issued a public apology stating it was one time and it was stupid and he's sorry. There's really nothing more to say about that. The governor, on the other hand, couldn't have acted worse. First, the governor apologized, stating it was him in the photo, and then retracted that, claiming there's no way it could have been him because he was out of town. Okay, fair enough. Let's say he's right, but that means that at some point he did wear blackface in college. I mean, you don't admit to doing so under any circumstances unless you've done so. It just may not have been caught on photo at that particular location. Then he exacerbated the problem by holding a press conference. At what point being asked by a reporter if he was doing it in tribute to Michael Jackson. He said yes. And then the reporter asked if he did the moonwalk in the 80s, to which the governor responded yes. And the reporter, egging him on, said, "Can you still do the moonwalk?" If you look at the press conference, the governor actually considered doing a moonwalk in the middle of the press conference. His wife should be given some sort of medal for stopping him by saying it is wildly inappropriate. But it does demonstrate the complete tone deafness of the man. And at this point, I don't know how the guy continues as a governor. More importantly, who was advising this guy on the proper way to respond to the media on this one? Where was his press secretary, PR folks, and attorneys to prepare for the gotcha questions? If a crisis PR event ensues and you have to respond to media, one of the cardinal preparation rules you have to undertake is the idea of preparing for those rude Q&As. The standard practice for me, for any of my clients, you have to prepare for those gotcha questions that can derail you from staying on message. And in this case, the governor did it not once, but twice. First retracting the statement and then getting into this ridiculous scenario about the potential of doing a moonwalk. The guy couldn't have bungled this more and probably will not survive on this one. Now, the lieutenant governor, who denies having any non-consensual sexual relations with any of the accusers, will have his day at court. But the preponderance of evidence is so overwhelming that he's not doing himself any favors to defend himself while staying in office. I hope also the voters respond well by electing better candidates.